Okay. So they're asking for something. Okay, let's continue. Don't waste the time. So I'll copy and paste it to you. So constructor is a special kind of method. So by default, the access modifier for a constructor is public. Okay, so constructor is used for creating an object. Let's say I have an employee class. Employee EMP is equal to new employee. See, here employee is a class name. EMP is an object. New is to create a memory location. And employee is a constructor. Okay, see, we are creating an object for a class. So by using a constructor, we are creating an object for a class. Okay, is it clear till now? Okay, so different list of constructors, like types of constructors. You can write then and there only, so no need to create again all these documents. Types of constructor in C#. So what are the types of constructors in C#? See, default, constructor. What is a default constructor? See, so let's observe this, guys. Those who joined in online. So is it clear till now?
Sir.
Yes, sir.
Okay, fine. I'm just creating a new project, console application. Next, so constructor. So let me create one. Let's say this. See, observe the solution explorer. Let me create one more class file. Right click, add class file. Okay. My class name is employee. Okay. So you can give anything then, just for sake of understanding, I'm giving an employee. See here, so I have a class, I have a namespace, that's it. Okay. If you didn't create any constructor inside the class, so the CLR means like common language runtime, is a part of this .NET. Okay. This internally we create an object by using default constructor. So what is the syntax for the constructor? See, let's say public employee. Okay. See, to create a method, this is the syntax, right? To open, close. So see, if I didn't give anything also, it will take, but we cannot access from outside. We should decorate that with a public thing, public access modifier. See, here, if I didn't give this default access modifier also, so that is a method, right? This method doesn't end with the semicolon. Okay, see, I show you that. See, here I have only the class employee and namespace. Okay, so internally this class will create default constructor like this in runtime. if you click on this constructor to run a program, so internally while running, this class employee will create this default constructor because class name and constructor name is same. See, for a method, we should give a syntax, open and close brace. No need to give a semicolon because it is a starting of a method, right? So we are not ending the line. We are just starting a line and execution starts from here. Is it clear? Fine. See, so internally it will create. This is a default constructor, means just a class name. That's it. But it doesn't have any other parameters or return type anything. See, so constructor doesn't have return type. That is fine, but it doesn't have any parameters. We can give integer a, comma integer b also here. This is like a parameterized constructor. If you see what is there inside, this is nothing but parameters. We have two parameters of type integer a comma b. So I'll tell you. So the next thing. So first, this is a default constructor. What is the use of a default constructor?
It is automatically generated.
It will generate automatically, and the main use of a constructor to create an object of a class. Okay. You have written that, right? So see, I'm just copying these lines as well. So I'll send you this straight away. Okay. This is a default constructor. So next one. Any queries till now?
No, sir.
You guys? Okay, fine. So what is a default constructor? In the sense, if you see, if you didn't create this constructor also, this class employee will create a default constructor because class name and constructor name is same. Okay, because no need to add any extra parameters. Okay, so default constructor, if you create or not, so this is the syntax. So class will create automatically. Okay, so let's say next I have a parameterized constructor. The next topic is parameterized constructor. What is a parameterized constructor? So parameters, do you know what is a parameter? So I'll explain you first what is a parameter. Okay. What is a parameter? So one important thing here is constructor have no return type. Okay. One more important point. Constructor must have no return type. Explicit. See, if I created one constructor here. If you see, I didn't give any return type, right? If I give public also, that is fine. But if you see, if I try to give void, what is the error it is throwing? So here, member names cannot be same as their enclosure type because see, this is a constructor. We cannot give a return type, whether it is void, whether it is a string, whether it is a string, anything. We cannot give a return type to a function. Sorry, to a constructor. See, if to a function we can give function means like function and method. Function and method same. We can call a function or we can call a method, but there is slight difference. Function it will return a value. Method it won't return a value because void is a method. Int, if you give int to a method, it is like a function. Okay. See, so it doesn't have. It must not have. It must not. You must have not an explicit return type. Okay. That is fine. Till now, the constructor is fine, right? So I'll give you what is a parameter. See, if you pass any value, or else we'll take one normal example, public or else private, void, add int a comma int b. So method, I'm starting here, ending here. We cannot terminate a method here. If you give semicolon, it will terminate there only. So we are giving a method heading, method name. So return A plus B. See, let me give you int because I want to return something. So see here, private is an access modifier, int is a return type, add is that method name. See, this is a method name. Int a comma int b are parameters. So I want to call this method from outside program.cs. I should declare this with a public. Okay. See, let me create object for employee class. See, so emp dot add. So let me open the brace and what it is expecting int a comma int b. See here, int a comma int b. It is expecting two parameters, 2 comma 5. Clear? Sure. See, if you are not getting any point also, you can raise your query. See here. So it is expecting of type int. Let me give a string. See your queries. So just concentrate. Let me give, even though 5 is an integer, but it is placed in between a double quote. It will consider as a string. So what it is throwing error? Cannot convert from string to int because it is add method is expecting an integer, but we gave a string. So we cannot give, even though 5 is an integer, it is in between a double quote. It will consider as a string, guys. So let me remove this and see. It's a similar like the same example. If you want to add two numbers, it should be integer, not a number. Type should be integer. Like see, if I give, it won't take because this is like a double. The data type should be, see, if you right click and go to the definition, add method, it is expecting parameters of type integer. Okay, see, that is clear, right? Let me give two or something. So just concentrate here, guys. Let me execute and how it is returning a value, and we should capture that value, right? See, we should display. We should display it in a console. Console dot write line of. So I should give. I want to give some text addition of two numbers is. We should give a concatenation operator. So instead of return, see here I gave integer. That's why it is. So or else we can do one thing. Let me remove this. We'll get an idea. Okay, fine. See, I'm returning a value. If I control came in here, it will return a value. Console dot write line of. See, let me see whether it is taking or not. See guys, because why it is not accepting here, because it is not a void. If it is a void, we can give console dot write line of text, but it will return 2 plus 5 7. So that value it will retain in emp.add. Okay, here I can give I'll execute line by line. Okay, I'll execute that so that you will get an idea. See, so before running any program, the best practice is go to build, and we should build the solution first. If it is building succeeded, so if it is building successfully, see, build started and build succeeded. So then you can run the program. Concentrate, guys. If you try to run the program, first execution starts from main method, then I'll go step. So if you go internally also, so see, it is hitting a constructor. See, new class name is, it is not a class name, new constructor name. Okay, constructor is used to create an object for a class. Clear? Just remember those points. Okay, so okay, fine, I don't have anything inside there. See, here I'm calling emp.add. Just try to concentrate here. This these line emp dot this object name dot add method. Let me go inside this. It came into the add method. What is the value I have passed? A, B. Two values I have passed. First parameter is. So what is the value?
2,5.
See. What is A holding? What is B holding? Return of A plus B should be C. C. So we can see in one way the value. See, it will print 7. But what it is returning, right click. It should be a quick watch. Okay. Before returning, if you want to see what is the value it is returning. So emp.add of 2, y, it is returning 7. So let me execute this. Addition of two numbers. 7. See here, is it clear?
Sir, constructor writing method.
Constructor.
Writing
Yes.
writing.
See, this is not a constructor. So this is a program class inside main method. Static void main is a method. But why it became an entry point means I'll explain. Okay. See, here there are slight difference between static and non-static. Maybe so after this topic I'll explain this. Okay. Don't divert from this. So main, if you have a main string arguments, this is an argument of type. This is also a parameter. String of open and close square brace is nothing but an array. This is altogether a separate topic. So first try to concentrate here. This is not a constructor. See, here my method name is main, but here class name is program. Class, so constructor name must be same as
Class.
see, you got the point, right? Here employee, this is a constructor and this is a method. And if you see, I want to give. So here, is it clear what is a parameter? What will declare inside this method, like after add open brace of this line is nothing but a parameters. So if you want to pass one more thing, just concentrate, guys. See, I want to use that parameter again to add some extra value. Let's say some random value. See. And just see, we can pass any value to the parameter. So previously I have passed 2, 5. Now I have passed some random value. What is that? 5, 879. See, I'm using the same parameter, same method name to return two values. So this is also nothing but we can call the method n number of times. We can call the same add method 10 times, 20 times. Okay. So, but it should expect two integer values to add anything, right? Because we gave a data type as integer to this employee. Clear? If you give void here, it won't return. Because void, it won't return. Void means null. We can give console dot right line of a plus. That's it. Here, it will perform the addition operation. And what is error? Method will prevent the debug. So I'm running this right. That's right. See, so you can give console dot addition. Okay, is it fine? See, now no need to call, no need to give this console dot right line. Simply can take emp dot Let me run this and see. So it is creating an object for a class by using a constructor. And if I'm calling this, so 2 comma 5, and then and there itself it will print that. See, then it will come to the next line. Same, it will go there. What is the value? 2 5 comma some random value 879 I give. So next one is console.readline to hold that console. Seven comma 88. So if it is a return type, we cannot use a console because console dot write to print something. So if it is void, we can write the console there. Yeah. Is it clear? Guys, is it clear or do you want me to repeat it again?
Clear, sir.
Okay, fine. So here, so why I explained this is like, see, this is like a parameters. These two, int a comma int b are like parameters. See here, int a comma int b or parameter add method. Okay. Fine. Any queries as of now? So difference between constructor and method. So what is a constructor? What is a method? I told you my first statement is constructor is a special kind of method. So if even though you are calling constructor is also a method, then what is the difference between a constructor and a method? Okay. So just make a brief point so that you will get an idea. I share you this document anyhow, but while listening this classes, if you write anything, so it will be like registered on it. What is a constructor and what is a method? Constructor is used to initialize an object. What is an initialization? Creation. Okay, creating. Constructor is used to create an object. So in a like technical term, we should call it as initialization to create an object. Okay. So what is the other point?
So, mentioned in the, if it is wide, we can add console.
Yeah. So maybe we'll discuss the parameterized constructor, right? So I'll add the comment there. See, constructor must have no return type. This is also an important thing. A method can have a return type, but a constructor must have not a return type. Okay, that is a thing. Constructor must be same as class name, right? So these are all bullet points. Like, see, I'm just removing all the scrap and telling you the main points. So you should, if an interview will ask you like, what is a constructor? Constructor is like it is also a special kind of method. Then what is the use? To create an object for a class. Okay. Then what is the difference between constructor and a method? Constructor have a return type, must have a return type. Constructor must have not a return type, but method can have a return type, may or may not, right? If it is a void, it is not a return type. But no, sorry. Void is also a return type, but it will return null value. Void also a return type. Yes. Okay. Void means it won't return anything means null. But constructor doesn't have, it must have no void, no integer, no string, nothing. Doesn't return any value. So and one more thing, constructor will invoke. Invoke means it will execute, like invoke implicitly. So what is meant by invoke implicitly? See, if you didn't give any default constructor, at runtime class will create a constructor automatically. So it will implicitly, internally, it will create an object. It will create a constructor, right? For method, we should call explicitly. Let's say I have an add method here. Just concentrate here. So here I have an employee constructor and an add method. If I didn't give this constructor, if you didn't give this constructor, if I execute this program, employee MP is equal to new employee, it will create that employee constructor automatically. Means like internally. So, but if it is an add method, if you didn't give add method, we cannot, it won't generate implicitly, because I should create an add method explicitly. And with the object, by using an object, I should call that add method. So the next point is like, so for a constructor will invoke implicitly. So if you didn't give a default constructor or any constructor, it will take it automatically. It will create or it will invoke automatically. What is a method? Method is used. See. Method is used to access or method is used, like, so let's say here we have an add method. What we are doing with an add method, addition of two numbers. Means like method is used to perform some operation, right? Whether it is an addition, subtraction, multiplication, division, or else to display anything we can call it as a method. So method is used to expose the behavior. Okay, so then what is the difference between? So the second point is like method is used to expose the behavior of an object, right? By using an object, we can call the method. See, so what is the use of method? Method has, so the second point is here, if you see, we'll go point by point. Constructor is used to initialize. Method is used to expose the behavior. Then constructor must have no return type, but method must have return type. Okay, so see here I have an add method without return type. Let's say, so what it is throwing an error. Method must have a return type. See, the second statement, what we are discussing, method must have a return type. Okay, is it fine? What is the third point? Constructor must be same as class name. Here, method name must be different. It shouldn't be same as a class name. Okay. Method name may or may not be same as the class name. Okay, is it clear? Constructor must be same as a class name, but if you see the method may or may not. So let's say void. If I give employee, employee member is nothing but this method. Member names cannot be same as their enclosing type. Enclosing type is nothing but a class, right? Here we are enclosing this class, right? So it shouldn't be same as a class, right? Okay. So just change the syntax. Method name may or may not in the sense of which our coach, but here must not be same as a class. we have proved, right? If I give same as an class name, it is not taking. It may not, it shouldn't be same as a class name. So what is the fourth point? So method will invoke, that is implicitly, this is explicitly, because we should call the method by using an object. Internally class won't call the method, right? So these are all 4 important points. See, what is this constructor? See guys, see, concentrate here. What is the difference between constructor and a method? Constructor is used to initialize an object. Initialize means to create an object. New class name. It is creating an object, right? So constructor must have no return type. See, here method must have a return type. A method is used to expose the behavior of an object. Here it is exposing a behavior of add method, right? So constructor will be same as class name. Method must not be same as a class name. It should be a different name. Shouldn't. You can hear shouldn't. Same as class name. Method constructor will invoke automatically by using a class, but method we should call it explicitly by using object. Till now, any queries? Is it clear? So we'll go with the parameterized constructor. If I am going fast, just let me know. If you are not getting the point, also you should raise the point. Otherwise, I'll think like you are getting the point, right? Parameterized constructor. So explicitly means here, if you see here, employee. I don't have a default constructor. Let's say so. Class will call that employee constructor automatically, right? But it will call implicitly. We cannot see. If you give also, will invoke, or else it will come invoke automatically. But for a method, we should create an object amp.add. Then only it will call. See, let's say if I comment this, will it call add method implicitly?
No, sir.
Because the add is a method we have created, user created, not system created, right? That employee constructor system created, so it will create automatically. But here add method we have created, we should call that explicitly. So here emp.add means we are calling this explicitly. That is called an explicit calling. Implicit calling means like .NET CLR will call that. Is it clear? Okay, so next topic is like parameterized constructor. Just now we have discussed. See, in the same example, you can see employee. So let me take public employee. So parameters, where we should give a parameter inside that brace, right? So here, this is like parameters which should be int number1 comma int num2, let's say. So this is nothing but a parameterized constructor. So it won't, class will not call a parameterized constructor because we are not sure we'll give 1 parameter, 2 parameter, or n parameters. It will take so any number of parameters. Okay, but by default we shouldn't give more than 8. That is a thumb rule. Okay, so we should give in any parameter. If it is a method, if it is a constructor, we should give max 8. 8 parameters we can give. That I will explain you while explaining the tuple concept. Okay, that is altogether different. Just concentrate. This is a parameterized constructor because we have 2 parameters inside this constructor. See, so how to access these parameterized constructors? See, so to access this, let's say I have int a comma int b in space. See, int a comma int b. So no need to give 2 times int a comma int b. Here I am separating these variables with comma. So if you want to give in 2 lines, we should terminate that line in B. See, now it will take. So instead of making it 2 lines, make an habit like, let me remove. Is it clear? Here I have 2 local variables of type private. Okay. Here I have 2 integer types of num1, num2. So if I want to access these values, let's say try to concentrate here. First, I'll a is equal to num1, b is equal to num2. So here I'm just returning. I want to use this a plus b. Okay, just concentrate. I'm just calling this. So what it is expecting? See, employee MP is equal to new employee. So 1 second, guys. Let me remove. So this is a normal method without any parameters. This A and B is like class level. See, this A and B are like class level access, right? I can access in any method. I explained to you yesterday. If it is in between these codes, in between this method, open and close, we should use locally. But here, my int A comma int B are outside the method, inside the class. Means within the class, I can use anywhere. See, and here I have a parameterized constructor. What it is expecting? It is expecting 2 numbers, 5 comma 6, let's say. No, fine. So int comma add, I have removed for addition method, for add method, I have removed the parameters, right? So no need to pass parameters, right? Is it fine? Just concentrate here. See, let me execute and see. Parameterized constructor. A constructor must have parameters. Okay. See, F10. While creating an object for employee class by using employee constructor. See, it will come here. What is the value we have passed?
5.
So if you see, these num1 and num2 scope is within the constructor. We cannot use num1 comma num2 here. That's why I took 2 local variables, private, and I'm assigning num1 value to A, num2 value to B. So this access level is outside the method, outside the constructor, inside the class. So within this open and close brace, I can use this A comma B anywhere. So here my question is public void add. So you might get a query like, can I use num1 plus num2? Right? We cannot, because the scope of num1 comma num2 within the constructor. See, I'm assigning the value num1 5, I'm assigning to A, num2 6, I'm assigning to B. So here I'm printing A plus B.
Sir, but it is in public mostly.
Which one?
A comma A is equal to number, A B is equal to. అది publicly ఉంది కదా sir. అది use చేసుకోవచ్చు.
Sure. So this is inside a constructor. We are not using this. We are assigning a value. See, right hand side is giving to the left hand side. Means while if you see if any programming language, if you want to assign any value, see here we are not assigning a value to num1. We are assigning num value to A. From right to left. See, from num1 to A. Is it clear? So from right, we are assigning to left. So here any assignment, any assigning or any assignment will be done from right to left. In .NET, assigning will be happen from right to left. Okay. See, we are assigning num1 to A, not A to num1. Right? A is equal to 10 means we are assigning 10 value to A, not A value to 10. Right? Similar like we are assigning num1 value to A, and I just call this add method. There is now 2 numbers, 5 plus 6, 11. Is it clear?
Sir, one more dot in constructor, can we write the console.writeLine statement?
So yeah, that is a good point. Like, let's see practically. See, console dot write line of, let's say, num1 plus num2, which is local to that method, right?
Yes.
So here, if you see, it is taking, and how it is executing, we'll see. Just concentrate, guys. That's a good question. See, F11. First, it will execute a constructor, and it will execute that constructor members. Console.writeLine is part of employee constructor. So it will execute that, come back, and employee.add, employee.add of, it will add the console again. Now, what is the output now? See, it will display both the values. But first, the value is like, so I'll give you some text so that you will get an idea. Constructor. Constructor edition, let's say. Okay. Concatenation. I'm adding these two numbers. I just give two braces. Okay. See, first it will invoke the constructor console.writeLine, then it will invoke add method. See, here I can use num1 comma num2 because num1 comma num2 is part of this constructor.
Local to that constructor.
Yes, local to that. It is local to this constructor. So the first one is like constructor addition was called. Then after addition of two numbers was called. Okay, add method called. Okay. Any queries? Is it clear, guys? First thing, is it clear?
Yes, sir. Clear.
Yeah, Raghavendra. So Prakash, like he dropped off or what? Okay, fine. So let's continue. Like the use of a parameterized constructor, we can assign a parameters, right? While creating an object. So while creating, so a constructor can, a constructor with at least one parameter is called parameterized. Parameterized constructor. So what is a parameterized constructor? See, here employee with num1 comma num2 two parameters, right? Nothing but a parameterized constructor. So what is the next topic, like copy constructor? Can we continue? Is it fine?
Sir, one more question.
1 second. 1 second. Let me take this. I'm not getting it.
Hello?
Sir.
Yeah, yes, you can ask the question.
Hello.
Yes, Raghavendra.
Yeah, sir. Before we have been done two kinds of methods. Like we have written console.writeLine in the constructor itself for the first, and we have given for the add method also, right?
Yes.
Yeah. So what would be the ideal one to do? I mean, like
Yeah, so I got your question. See,
Yeah.
in a real time, so you won't print anything in the constructor. Okay.
Okay, sir.
So
Yeah,
that
got
is
it.
why here, even though if you are taking two numbers, a parameters constructor num1 comma num2, where assigning you want to access num1 comma num2 values, but
Yes.
it is confined to within the constructor. That's why I took two local variables int a comma int b. I have assigned those values to that variables a comma b. Then we can access from anywhere, right?
Yes, sir.
See, in this, I want to access num1 comma num2 values. That's why I took two into integer variables and I'm accessing here. Because if you type in num1 here, we cannot. Because num1 is local to that constructor.
Constructor.
So is it clear?
Yes, sir, clear.
Yeah. So guys, that is also a good question. Like saying like, so here we can print by using a console. Why to use this add method again? See, in a real time, you won't print consoles in a constructor. Okay, that is why I took two variables outside the constructor and assigned these constructor values to those variables, and I'm accessing here. This is not an ideal case or a recommended case. Okay, in real time, you won't print anything in the constructor. Okay, that's why I assign those two values here. Maybe in future, if you have num3 also, let's say, you should take one more. C, and C is equal to correct. So I can use this here, right? See, I can access it. And while passing a parameter, a comma b comma num1 comma num2 comma anything is fine. Okay, let me give 7. So if you run this, it will add these three. 5 plus 11, 11 plus 7, 18, right? See, is it clear? We can add a number of parameters. Like you should assign it to a local variable and you can use it anywhere within the class. Is it clear, Raghavendra and Prakash as well?
Yes, sir, clear.
Okay, fine. Okay, so this is like so we shouldn't give this, but for the sake of understanding only I gave this. Parameterized means a constructor with at least one parameter is called as parameterized constructor. Next one is copy constructor. Copying a constructor. What is a copy a constructor? So here, a copy constructor is we are creating, we are copying a constructor means like we're copying an object variables from one constructor to another constructor. Okay, so you can write it like constructor which creates an object. Which creates an object. So it will create an object by copying variable by copying a variables from one object to another. By copying a variable from another object. See, constructor which creates an object, first it will create an object by copying from another object. So it will copy the data from another object by creating an object. So how will achieve that constructor? So let's see. Here, if we have employee emp is equal to new employee. So employee emp1 is equal to new employee of 1 comma 2 comma 3, let's say. So here if you see, I have an object of emp. I want to create an object by copying a data from another. Instead of 1 comma 2 comma 3, can we give similar like, see? So to create, so what is it is expected values, right? See, so EMP employee EMP is equal to new employee. Employee EMP1 is equal to new employee. Here we have two objects. EMP is one object and EMP1 is one object. So we should assign this. We should copy from one to another. Like let's say, see, this is an object. So we are creating an object, but so what is the definition? You can see, which creates an object by copying a variable from another object. See, we are assigning from another object, and let's see emp1 dot add. Concentrate, guys. Okay. Are you getting? See. Okay. Here, if you see, yeah, what is there inside the employee? We can 5, 6, 7, A comma B comma C. So I have assigned EMP to EMP1 now. We have copied from one object to another object. See, that is nothing but copying a set. Here in the definition also you can see which creates an object by copying another object. Here if you see clearly, here we are copying variables from EMP to EMP1. And if you, so now I'm accessing add with, now it came in. What is the value? Clear? So let's say you have a requirement. Let's say I have one class. I created 1,000 lines of code and I did some XYZ functionality. Same functionality, I want to use it in some other program as well. So instead of writing the entire program again, you can clone or copy. So copy means like same functionality you have assigned to some other object. Maybe after that we can change the requirement, but till now the functionality is same. You should copy. That's it. No need to write again is equal to new of something like EMP1 is equal to new employee 5, 6, 7. Again, it will hit the constructor. It will assign the space. No, nothing. So if you see paint, just for your understanding only. So this is then we should change the values in constructor itself only. If you want to pass different values, then we should, if you want to pass, if you want to use the same value, we can copy. But if you want to pass a different value, you should create an object again. That's it. New employee 1, 2, 3. What is the use of a copy? If you want to use the same thing. So if you are copying in your exam, if you want to mug up the same answer, so if you want to write your different answer, you should write it on your own, right? If you want to copy the previous before what you are sitting in front of you or behind you, so you can copy the same thing, mug up, and you can. But if you want to write a different answer, like we should write your own thing. See here also new employee, it will create memory space again. Here if you see this is EMP. So I want to assign this to here. So we are simply assigning equal to, because so now it will also contain EMP data only, right? EMP object data, same as EMP. So, but this name is like EMP1. Okay, I have EMP and EMP1 which has the same data because I have copied from EMP. So I have copied to EMP1 from EMP. So If you want to use different data to EMP1, no need to copyright. You can write your own logic. So what is there inside this? See. అంతే కదా. So if your requirement is different, you should create a new object. That's it. So if you have a same requirement, why to create a new object instead of you can copyright? That is. Is it clear? I'll share you straight away with this program. Just practice, okay? Just type different things and you will get an idea. I'm just copying syntax in the notepad, but I'll share you the program, okay? This is the syntax for it. Copying a constructor, okay? Fine. So till here, any queries? Guys,
No.
any queries?
No, sir.
Yeah, fine. So the next topic will be like, okay, let me see the next topic. Static constructor. Okay. What is a static constructor? So here, some main important thing, main interview question as well. What is, before taking anything, we should explain static versus non-static. What is a static and what is a non-static? Non-static is nothing but instance members. Static members and non-static. Static members versus non-static means like instance members. We can characterize a non-static or instance members. So what is an static? So let's say if you see when the class is loading, so you can write a point. Memory will be for static members. When the class is loading, memory will be created for static members. So what is meant by memory will be created for static members when the class is loading? See, here my main method is a static. So if you want to create any memory, we should give, we are creating a memory location for employee class by using an employee constructor. So we are creating explicitly, but this is a static. CLR or .NET framework will create a memory when the class is loading. Once I hit this or build, debug, start debugging. Once I hit on the F5, this symbol, automatically memory will be created for static members. Here, here void is a static void main method is just of type static. For this, memory will be created once you hit on that execute. Okay, so similar, like if you see when the class is loading, means like if you hit that, class will load and memory will be created for static members. If you want to access static members, class name dot. Before that, just concentrate here, guys. I'll explain this and you can see. Let me create one static void edition. Let's see. Console.writeline now. A plus B plus C, let's say. See, if I want to call this edition from program.cs, let me try with emp1 dot. Can you see the edition here? Edition, not add. No, because that is a static. We cannot call static with object. We can call static with
Class name.
Class name. So then why it is not? It should be. See guys, it should be, so we should access static members with class name, not an object name. See, that's why memory will be allocated for static members when the class is loading. No need to create explicitly. Is it clear? So here, this is a static method. This is an instance method. So for instance method, we have created an object explicitly, but static method or static member is a method, field, property, anything. When the class is loading, memory will be allocated for static members first. So how to call? We should call static members or static members with class name. Is it clear? Instance. What is an instance? When the object is creating, memory will be created for instance members. Sorry.
Non-static object దానికి
So no need to create an object. So class name with a class name. So when the object is creating, memory will be created for instance members. Instance is that non-static members. We'll call these as instance members. Okay. Instance or non-static is fine, but better to call instance. Okay. That is a recommended thing. So how to call this? We should call instance members with object name with the help of is it clear, guys? Is it clear? See, just I'll give you guys Raghavendra and Prakash, is it clear?
Yes, sir, clear.
Yes, sir.
Okay, fine. So static and non-static. Okay, now we'll discuss about a static constructor. Static constructor. So if you see here in employee.here, static constructor. So if you see, it doesn't have, let's say, let me give static employee. This is fine. Let me give access modifier. Access modifiers are not allowed. So it won't take access modifier. So static constructor doesn't have an access modifier. Okay. Because if you see, I'm just explaining the concept as well. See, here if you hover on it, access modifiers are not allowed. See, for static constructor doesn't have a static constructor not allowed static access modifier. So access static constructor doesn't allow access modifier. Okay, that is fine, right? What is the second point? Yeah, that is one thing. Let me add a parameter here. See, what is the error now? It won't take a parameters. The static constructor must be a parameterless. Write that point as well. Must be parameterless. Means it won't take parameters. See, it won't take access modifier. It won't take parameters. Same like memory will be allocated when the class is loading. So are you guys following?
Yes, sir.
See, fourth point. A class can have only one static constructor. A class can have only one static constructor. Or let me prove that also. See. See. Let me take one more, so it won't take parameter. So to differentiate, let's say a class can have only one static constructor. Let's say, if you see, I want to take one more. What it is throwing? Employee already defines a member class employee with the same parameter because it won't take parameter. We can't differentiate, right? Let's say here I can take one more parameter, one more constructor with two parameters. This is a two parameter constructor. This is a three parameter constructor of non-static. We can differentiate, but if you see, constructor won't take, static constructor won't take parameters, won't take a return type. How can you differentiate? That's why a class can have only one static constructor. So make that point also. Is it clear, guys? Is it clear?
Yes, sir.
Yeah. So let me this. Is it clear, guys? Still no? So I'll take a pause here. So if you have any queries, you can ask me. No, because we have two more topics. It will be like one day. It was like bombarding. No issues. Okay, just try to get. So what we have discussed today, we'll try to iterate that. So what is a constructor? Constructor is used to initialize, to create an object for a class or special kind of a method. By default, access modifier of a constructor is public. Constructor used to create an object. Okay. Constructor must have no explicit return type. It won't return any value. So types of constructor we have discussed: default, parameterized, copy constructor. So default constructor, it will create, the class will create automatically if you didn't give explicitly. Yeah. So then we have parameterized constructor. If you give any parameters to this while creating a constructor, it is nothing but a parameter constructor. A constructor with at least one parameter is nothing but a parameterized constructor. So copy constructor means if you want to copy from one constructor to another. So let's say here one object, we're creating an object and copying from another object is nothing but copy a constructor. So what is the difference between a static? What is a static constructor? It doesn't allow return type. It doesn't allow access modifier. It doesn't allow parameters. Simply, no return type, no parameters, no access modifiers. When the class is loading, memory will be created for static members. If it is a constructor, if it is a method, anything, memory will be created for static. So I'll take a pause here. So any queries, Raghavendra and Prakash?
No, sir.
Okay, let me send you this right away. Okay, 1 second. You can play with this example and just let me know tomorrow for the solution. I'll send this right away. 1 second, yes. Where is this? So this is a repo. It is creating constructor. Just practice now only, or else if you have a time, just practice within so today. So maybe tomorrow I'll ask you a few questions in this, then we'll move to the next topic. Just matter of half an hour, you can practice.
Okay, sir.
Subject. I don't know why it is taking a lot of time. So any queries? So I'll stop the recording now and I'll share this. Okay. Thanks, guys. Like Prakash and Raghavendra, I'll share it to you right away. Okay.
Okay, sir.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Thank you.